All right, guys, what's up? This is the kickoff call for the Real Food Reset. Jonathan and I, and CJ, who's not on this kickoff call, are excited to lead you guys through these 4 weeks. We've done a couple different iterations of this, but this program, the Real Food Reset, we did it in February, and it was so successful that we're gonna run you guys through the same thing again. Even if you're someone who did it in February, just having these habits reinforced is going to be super valuable. Just to give you guys an idea of what to expect, just maybe some results you could expect. Everybody's starting in a different place, has different goals, but we had 11 people do it in February, and everyone had a positive outcome. Most people, like 9 out of 11 people, had actual like gain in muscle mass, loss of body fat, loss of weight if that was their goal. We had a couple people who wanted to gain weight, gain muscle, and they gained. Um, and a lot of people had like mindset shift changes, which is a big part of this as well. Because we know that eating is about much more than just like, well, I know this is good for me, so I'm going to eat it. There's a lot of emotional stuff that goes into it, and just what's your mindset around food, dieting versus fueling and things like that. So um, it's going to get deep. It's going to get really good, and we're excited to take you guys through it and see what kind of results you get. Um, and that leads me into, what is the purpose of this? Even though I just said, these results people got in just 4 weeks, um, really the goal is not for it to be a 4 week crash diet. It's meant to be something that helps you build lifelong habits that are sustainable, that just change the way you eat forever. Because if you look around the gym or just around people who are quote in shape or maybe have like a body composition or performance that you would look up to, like 9 times out of 10, it's just somebody who's been doing some really simple, basic, boring stuff for a long time, over and over again. Um, Eating mostly real food, prioritizing protein, prioritizing sleep, drinking enough water, eating fruits and vegetables, the real food, and just having a consistent, healthy mindset around their nutrition and training. So that's our goal, is just to help you guys with that structure and accountability to build that, really practical tips on how to do it. And just one quote that I don't even remember where I heard it, but kind of encapsulates this, is that if your diet has an end date, your results will too. So our goal for this is not for it to be a 4 week thing, and when 4 weeks is over, you go back to the way you were. We're changing the way you eat. So it's a diet in the sense of just what you eat, not in the sense of a short term plan. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to John. He's just going to go over an overview of what to expect, big picture, over the next 4 weeks with the specific habits we're going to focus on.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. So to echo what you said, Joe, is just, real food reset is we're just stepping back, starting from square one and identifying low-hanging fruit. We'll get to that. Low-hanging fruit in our lifestyle when it comes to food, because most of the participants in the real food reset are going to be part of our gym. We're happy to work with folks that don't go to our gym, but the reality is, most of the participants are going to be members of our gym. And it would be a shame if we put all that effort and carved out time in our week to go to the gym, to move, to prioritize movement and working out. It'd be a shame if we did that and didn't take care of the nutrition piece, because nutrition, I know to be, it's truly the largest lever that we have to pull when it comes to our fitness outcomes and our health outcomes. So, even bigger than movement and exercise and working out. So I'm happy to be a part of this. Let's talk about just kind of the program overview. What are we going to be doing for these 4 weeks? What are we going to be prioritizing? So we're going to give you a habit to work on each week. Um, and we'll talk about what those habits are. So week one, we're prioritizing produce, fruits and veggies. Week two, we are prioritizing protein, getting adequate protein every day. Week three, we're looking at hydration, making sure we're adequately hydrated and that we're prioritizing sleep. And then week four is all about mindful eating. So just slowing down, being conscious about how we're fueling our body, And again, our goal is not perfection. We expect that no one, myself included, is going to do all of these habits every day without fail. But the goal is long-term sustainability, like Joe said, for life, right? So we want at the end of the 4 weeks that you're able to take these habits and continue to grow upon them. And just like that, week one, we're doing produce. And so week two is protein, but we're going to continue the produce. So they just build upon each other. So by week four, when we're doing mindful eating, you've got your protein or your produce, your protein, your hydration, and your sleep. And then we're adding mindful eating onto it. So,
Yep, cool. And the mindful eating piece too, that's going to be interwoven throughout the whole thing. We're going to especially focus on it in week 4, but from the beginning, CJ and or myself are going to lead you guys through some mindset exercises to think about your thinking, especially around food and how that may be affecting your decisions. But it's going to go beyond that. It's pretty powerful. It's been powerful for CJ and I, so we're excited to share some of that with you guys. And that, some feedback from the last time we did this is that people were surprised that that was actually the most, one of the most beneficial things, because it helps you to solidify these things as just, this is just who I am now. It's like an identity of, I'm just going to eat healthy and it's just what I do. So expect that. So just some logistics to go through here. The first group call is on September 7th, Sunday. So they're all going to be on Sundays. The first one is September 7th at 3 p.m. September 7th, 3 p.m. And in that call, we will go into more detail on the first habit and just what to work on throughout the week, although John's going to talk about it a little bit more in here just a second as well. Expect these calls to last about an hour. The following 4 weeks, so the 7th, the 14th, the 28th, and the 5th. I think I have all those dates right. October 5th is the last one. The calls are going to be at 4:30 p.m. Okay, so just the first week's at 3 p.m. and the following ones will be at 4:30 p.m. And again, expect those to be about an hour. There's also going to be a GroupMe chat that's going to be like a 24-hour, ask questions. We'll put some prompts in there as well throughout the week and check in with you guys. But that's like throughout the week a way to check in and keep each other accountable. Ask questions of the coaches, and we'll answer it as soon as we can. We're going to do habit tracking in the Push Press members app. It'll be a separate track that only you guys can see, and it's just going to be like a yes or no. Did you eat your 800 grams of fruits and vegetables? Yes or no. Did you get your 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight? Yes or no. And that's just for your own accountability. It's just helpful to have that, like, okay, I'm going to go in and either check yes or no at the end of the day. We also included in this our in-body scan and goal review assessment meetings. So we'll do one before the challenge starts and one after. You guys should be watching this like on Thursday, Friday, Saturday before that first Sunday, the 7th. If we haven't done our check-in yet, hopefully we are soon. If for some reason it slips through the cracks, please reach out to me. Then we'll do one at the end as well, just to compare to see what kind of progress has been made in 4 weeks and where do we go from there. And also, this is we're gonna have a optional book to go along with the challenge called Ultra Processed People, and this is gonna explain a lot of the why behind eating real food and why it's important. Not just why it's important, but like how our modern food environment is really built for us to overconsume fake food, essentially, because it's profitable for the food companies, and they're not, even if it says it's a health food, at the end of the day their goal is to make a profit, not to make you healthy. And it's not just like a protest stick it to the man thing, but it's more of just like open your eyes wide open to the environment we're in, and you're going to make better choices after reading this book. So it's optional, but we are going to pull some concepts from that book and discuss a couple things from it. So highly recommended. You can get it on Amazon. Ultra Processed People by Chris Van Tuliken. And with that, I'm going to kick it back to John, and he's going to talk a little more about the week 1 habit.
yeah. So the first week our first habit is prioritizing uh, produce, so fruits and veggies. And we're going to ask you to get 800 grams a day. This is about 28 ounces of fruits and veggies a day. It's simple, measurable, and allows a lot of flexibility within your diet. When you think about that number, 800 grams daily, I want you to prioritize that before your other foods, right? So in the morning, make sure that you've got a substantial amount of fruits and or veggies in that meal. Every time you eat is an opportunity to get more of produce and to get you closer to your goal. So there's a lot of reasons why that we'll get into within that first call. But one of the reason, probably the most important reason, is for improved health markers. So lower blood pressure, improved cholesterol, reduced risk of stroke, lower risk of type 2 diabetes, better insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control, reduced cancer risk, especially from cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, and arugula. We chose 800 grams. That's not just some arbitrary number. If you follow, there's a woman named E.C. Sinkowski. She is an awesome figure to follow in the nutrition space. I would highly recommend her podcasts. She came up with 800 grams as a recommendation for the people that she works with, but she didn't just come up with it. There's a lot of studies that point to that amount as being, you need at least that amount for optimal health, but going over that amount, it doesn't really, it's like a point of diminishing returns. So as you're watching this, you're leading into that first weekend. And so you need to go grocery shopping. So what are you going to get? So really think about a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to make that up. If you're one that loves bananas, and you're thinking, oh man, 800 grams, that's like 8 medium bananas. I can do that. That's no problem. I guarantee you, after a couple days of 8 bananas, you won't want another banana. So think variety. Really try to eat the rainbow throughout your day, explore colors and flavors that may be new. Feel free to use fresh fruits and veggies as well as frozen. When I grocery shop, I typically will load up on fresh, but then I want to make sure I have some frozen options for when inevitably myself and my kids eat all the fresh stuff and I still don't have time to go to the store and I need to eat. So, have some frozen vegetables and frozen fruits on hand. Just be sure that, you know, they're not the variety that's covered in sauce, right? Because you see a lot of that in the frozen aisle.
Mhm.
What does 100 grams look like? So, yeah, it's like one small banana, one small apple. You're gonna need a food scale going into this. Get a food scale if you don't have one. Mine costs like 12 or 13 bucks off Amazon. It's just Amazon Basics. It measures in ounces and grams. We're,
I have the same one.
yeah, we're gonna weigh our protein in ounces and our produce in grams. So you need one that switches between the two. For example, if you're weighing an apple, you would want to weigh it and then eat it and then weigh the core and subtract the core. Or you could cut it and put the cut pieces on the scale. So you'll get to a point where you can eyeball, at the end of these 4 weeks. I want you to use the scale for the entirety of the 4 weeks, right? But at the end of the 4 weeks, you'll get to a point where you can look at some blueberries and just gauge, that's about 2/3 of a cup. That's probably about 100 grams. 8 baby carrots is 100 grams. One large sweet potato is about 400 grams. So you can see it's not as intimidating as it may initially sound.
Mhm.
You can make a pretty big
So
salad with 200 to 300 grams. Go ahead, Joe.
you might be getting to this, but just some like hacks for if you're somebody who's like, man, I'm concerned about getting enough. I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables now. Uh, if there are, we don't love the term hacks, but like if there is one for this, potatoes, they count and they have a good amount of weight to them. Um, Carrots, just like snacking on baby carrots, like John mentioned is another really good one. You can take it anywhere with you. Um, Grapes, and you might be getting to this, John, but like, what about the question of I don't like vegetables, I only like fruit. Can I just do all fruit?
Yes.
What would you say to that?
Yes, you can. I would encourage you to, if you're one of those folks, I would encourage you to use these 4 weeks to branch out and try some new things. Remember, it's a real food reset. We really want to reset the way that we look at food, the way that we interact with food throughout our day. So I would recommend you um, try to fit some vegetables into your day. But if I can get you to switch from highly processed food into 800 grams of fruit to take up a lot of your caloric load for the day, I'm great with that too. So yes, you can use just fruit. Other common questions we get are, like, so potatoes are good. Beans, I'm gonna say, are good. They grow. Just be careful, like Bush's beans in the sugar syrup. That's not that doesn't go along with the spirit of the uh, prioritizing produce. So I'm gonna say no to Bush's beans. But if you cook beans and they come out of a dry bag, we're good with that. Um, Another question we get is like fruit juices, right? So no, fruit juices are not going to count. And the reason why they're not going to count is you don't get all the fiber, you don't get the satiety, they're not going to keep you full longer. And one of the points of prioritizing produce is not only are they super healthy for you from a micronutrient profile, vitamins and minerals, cancer fighting compounds, but also they oh, Joe, you're gonna have to edit it. Where was I going with that?
That fruits and vegetables are satiating.
Yes.
That it's that they fill you up. Yeah,
So not
volume.
only, yeah, so juices are not going to be on the.
I'm not editing that, by the way, John.
You're not okay. Juices are not going to be as satiating as an orange and a banana, for example. So we really want you to take advantage of how filling fruits and vegetables are, because we want to think about a diet of inclusion versus exclusion. Look around your day, think about how can I get all this food in, instead of looking around your day and saying, I can't eat that, I can't eat that, I'm not allowed to have that. That's a no for me. So yeah, so juices are a no-go. Smoothies, if you put, some whey protein and an apple, or sorry, like a banana and some strawberries into a smoothie, you're welcome to count that banana and strawberry as part of your produce for the day. But eyes wide open, it's not going to be as satiating. You can drink a smoothie and still be hungry an hour later. So just know that going in.
Hmm. Cool. I think that covers enough to get people going. We will talk more about this on the call on Sunday. So if you guys have questions, bring them to that call. You can also go ahead and start putting stuff in the group me. We should have that live either by the time you listen to this, or definitely by the first call. We'll have it going. Speaking of which, the links for the calls, for the group calls, I will put those in the group me. This first one I'll probably send it in an email as well, but then going forward, all communication will be in the group me. Cool. Anything else on the first week, John, at Hidden Grams? Anything you know for the shop?
I just have fun. Just um, have more variety on hand than you think you might need, because when it comes time to eat, you don't want to experience decision fatigue. You want to have that meal already thought out, so there's less chance of going off your plan.
Yeah, that's a great point. One quick tip I'll give, and I got this from Abby Cooper, is anytime you go grocery shopping and you get produce, you come home, before it goes in the fridge, prep it. So if you get peppers, bell peppers, red peppers, carrots, broccoli, whatever, instead of just taking it out of the grocery bag and sticking it right in the fridge, rinse it, chop it up, and have it just ready to go to snack on. So it just makes it so much easier to snack on when you're hungry, instead of grabbing the bag of chips, which is much easier typically. So that's helped me a lot. Like stuff doesn't go bad as much because I'm going to eat it if it's prepped, and I'll go to it more readily if it's already prepped. So just a little tip for you: prep it before you put it away.
Yeah, and that's part of
Um,
the mindful eating piece that we'll get into too, is like just simply
yeah.
having a plan goes really far.
Hmm. Cool. All right. So next steps. First call September 7th at 3 p.m. The first actual tracking of the habit will start on Monday. So Sunday is still a day like to prep and prepare. You don't have to start weighing and measuring on Sunday yet. Um, but on Monday, we'll start the 800-gram habit. Um, and then the following live calls will be on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. To get the most out of this program, it works best if you log your habits, use the habit tracking, engage and attend the calls if at all possible. We will record them, but attend if at all possible and engage. And then engage in the group me. Like use the group me. John and I will put in some prompts in there. But also, just sending pictures of like this meal I tried and I got 300 grams of fruits and veggies in this one meal. Check this out, or stuff like that. Recipes, is really helpful for other people. I think one of the uh, benefits of a group program is not just what it does for you, but you being able to help other people, and you actually get a lot of reward from that as well. So it helps others when you engage. It's not just about you, although we do want you to get obviously the benefit out of it. Um, Ask for help, share wins, and embrace the discomfort that comes along with habit change. Anything you want in life is on the other side of getting uncomfortable. And that's why we have that phrase comfort in discomfort, just finding comfort in the uncomfortable. There you go, uncomfortable workouts because it's going to make you fitter. Find comfort in the discomfort of changing your eating habits because it's going to make you better in the long run, not just for yourself but for the people you love. Purpose-driven fitness. That's a new phrase I've been throwing around that kind of encapsulates why we do what we do. All right. I think that's all I got. John, anything
Yeah,
else?
I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody on the first call on the 7th.
Yep. CJ will be on that one too. Little mindset exercise. We'll dig in a little more into the 800-gram challenge, answer questions, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Looking forward to this 4 weeks, and we will talk to you guys on Sunday at 3 p.m.
So yeah.
Bye.